What's going on, everybody? Hello, everyone out there. Mods that I haven't got in touch with, you're going to see, please don't post my Cash App or my PayPals in the chats. You're going to see them posted by our moderators. If you guys would like to make any contributions, please feel free to send them there. And today we're here for Cache Valley Transparency. I don't know if you know him. You should get to know him. James has been releasing several videos over the past week about the craziness that he's been dealing with. And this is the type of the stuff that the community needs to get involved with. I know it's great to watch us tell cops to go fuck themselves every once in a while, but seeing what's happening to him is unacceptable. So without further ado, Cash, you want to tell us what's been going on with you the past couple days?
All right, so for the last, about 7 months or so, I've been up here in Logan, Utah, Cache County, and I've been, kind of recording public servants, going to city halls, going to, different places recording. I've been trespassed from Department of Workforce Services by a Logan Police Department. And in the last week, it's really gotten way more serious. Logan Police Department has decided to put up privacy complaints against any of my videos containing their officers. I believe about 4 videos have been taken down off my channel now. I do have appeals for some of them. I've gotten responses back from a couple appeals, and basically the videos are still going to be down. They're not going to be put on my channel at all. A lot of those videos have been downloaded by either James or I believe Orange Man Audits has all of my videos downloaded as well. So at least they're saved somewhere. They can try to come after me, but they're not going to go after the entire community. So if you've been noticed, I did a couple live streams in the last week from the Logan Police Department and City Hall. One of those videos was actually taken down off my channel. I did release a short video of Lieutenant Randall talking, and that was from one of the live stream that was taken down. So all that's been going on. A couple of weeks ago, I was doing a cop watch. There was a van that was pulled over for not having headlights on, and I was just driving around that night, listening to the police scanner, and I was actually on my way to a completely different call about an overdose at an apartment, and I was literally on the other side of town. And as soon as I heard on the radio that the officer had called a K9, I don't know who the officers are on these calls. I just heard K9, and I was like, all right. So I flipped around and went back to the white van. And I get there, park far enough away, and I'm just kind of hanging out, recording the van. And I was literally there for maybe 30 seconds, and Officer Alvarez, you guys have seen the video. James shared this yesterday. Officer Alvarez started barking orders at me, telling me I'm interfering with him, and I can't be basically on a public sidewalk recording them doing their jobs, which is a bunch of baloney. And so for that video that went up, I got a summons to appear June 22nd in court for a interference charge and a stalking charge, which is all completely baloney. It doesn't make any sense at all. So yesterday I did a records request at Logan Police Department for what was supposed to be a bolo that was put out on me. I kind of got the ring around about all this. The only thing they really gave me is some emails that were sent out about the summons that they put out on me. And that video is going to be out maybe tomorrow now, just because I've been having to deal with some stuff in the last 24 hours. I ended up going to pay my $5 fee in pennies, which they didn't want to accept right away. And then I sat there for about 15 minutes recording Lieutenant Randall and a lady count out $5 in pennies, which I found pretty hilarious, honestly. So last night, I went out and I was just basically hanging out in a parking lot. I drove around for a little bit, listening to the police scanner. Man, I was out for probably 2 hours and literally nothing was going on. A bunch of people were getting pulled over. There was some, elderly people that needed assistance with ambulances and stuff like that. There's not a lot of major crime up here, so for something really crazy to happen, you literally have to put in the hours, you have to put in the time to listen to police scanners and just kind of, wait. So about 9 o'clock last night, 8:30, 9 o'clock last night, I heard a call come over the scanner for somebody had broken into somebody's house. This was in Lewiston, Utah, which is about 15 miles north of Logan. It's pretty close to the Idaho border. And it's a very small town. There's not a whole lot going up there. I've only been there like once or twice. And so I thought it would be an interesting call to go to because the suspect was known to be carrying a gun at times, and he was also known to be carrying a knife at times. So I thought, hey, this could get kind of interesting. Let me go record this. And because it's so far out of Logan, it was actually Cache County sheriffs that were on the call because that's their jurisdiction, way out of the city limits. So I get out there and I heard on the scanner because I was listening to the scanner the whole way out there. And it's so far out of the way that, they don't have sheriffs just hanging out in Lewiston, Utah. There's no reason for a sheriff to be hanging out that way. So it probably took him a good 10, 15 minutes to even get to the area. And he sat about a mile away in his truck and he waited for backup to arrive. So he wasn't going to the scene by himself because he's kind of a pussy, I guess. I don't really know.
And you don't speak that way about the cops. They're heroes and they deserve to be safe. They don't need your kind out there taking pictures in public. That's ridiculous.
Hey, man, I tried to help with officer safety in my video of the crosswalk enforcement, and they did not care about officer safety with my orange flag. So I don't know what they're talking about, officer safety or not officer safety. I have no idea what they're talking about.
So I understand this. I've never ceased to be amazed when shit like this happens. So you're filming the cop's vehicle, and this becomes some sort of issue for the cops. You wind up getting arrested, assaulted, kidnapped, and thrown in a dungeon because you were filming a public employee in their capacity.
Yeah, so two other sheriffs showed up, and they ended up, I parked about maybe a quarter mile up the road from them because I didn't hear the address on the scanner, so I wasn't sure exactly where it was at. I just knew it was on the main drag. So I waited for the cops to go by, and then I hung out for a little while because I don't want to be, directly behind them, following them, because that's just stupid and creepy, I think, But so I waited for a while, and I pulled out. And maybe about a half mile down the road, they had pulled over on the left side of the road. They stacked their vehicles in a straight line right off of the white line of the side of the road. And so I parked on the right side of the road. I was on a public easement. I was in a good spot, I thought. Not a lot of traffic out in that area, especially at 9:30 at night. And so, I get out of the car, get my phone and my camera and everything ready. And I cross the road. And I'm standing behind the back police truck, and I'm kind of recording inside of the passenger window because I see somebody sitting in the passenger seat. And I couldn't tell if they were in uniform. It didn't look like they were in uniform, and they didn't look like they were an officer at all. So I don't really know what was going on with that. So I guess he was a sergeant. He came and started yelling at me about interfering with their investigation, and that the sheriff's trucks were part of the investigation. And the people that they were actually speaking to were about 40 feet away from me in a private yard. And I couldn't hear any of the conversation that was even going on. I literally couldn't hear anything. So he starts barking at me, telling me I need to be 30 feet away from his truck. I can't be near their sheriff's trucks and blah, 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 So I was like, you know what, man, like, I don't really want to deal with you anymore. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm on a public easement. I'm on public property. I'm just recording like I'm allowed to do. And so I start walking up the road, trying to get past the other two police trucks so I can be on the other side of them and far enough away so nobody bothers me. And I start walking that way. I pass the second truck, and he's still just barking at me behind me, and I'm just walking, and I get to the back of the front police truck, and he basically comes up behind me, grabs my left wrist, and says I'm under arrest for interference, and starts yanking on my arm and all this stuff. Set my phone down in the back of the truck, and make sure to tell them, don't stop my recording and all this stuff. And I yelled out about 5-6 times that I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting. And I'm not entirely sure what I heard at that point, because I'm just trying to stay calm and not, twitch or move in the wrong way so I don't get slammed on the ground or tased or anything like that. And I'm pretty sure he said, "Yes, you are," at some point. I don't have the video. I don't have the body cam video, but I'm pretty sure at some point he said, "Yes, I was resisting," which I was literally just standing there, not moving a muscle at that
You
point
could
in
have been
time.
unconscious, getting your head kicked in, and while you were unconscious, bleeding out, they would have told you to stop resisting.
Yeah. So, so it's pretty crazy. He put me in the back of the police truck. Never read me my rights. Never said anything to me about "you're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent." None of this bull crap. He didn't say anything to me. And from speaking to innocent auditor, he's down in Salt Lake City. He said the cops up here just don't read you your rights, and
anyway,
they don't seem to care.
That's really just not a thing. I don't know of anybody being read their rights except possibly when they're in an interrogation room for a murder or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, to hell with
just doesn't
Miranda
happen.
rights. To hell with Miranda rights.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. It seems like a bunch of baloney. So, shows me in the back of the police car. I asked him multiple times to loosen my cuffs, and I felt they were super tight around my wrists. I got some. I took some pictures, and they took pictures in the jail as well. But they pulled me out of the truck, and they was like, "Oh, we can put 2 fingers in between there, so they're not that tight." I was like, "Listen, man, I'm losing blood to my hands. Getting my fingers are feeling tingly. Like, you got to loosen these things up. You got to do something." And he basically didn't give a shit. And I woke up this morning. I got really sore shoulders. My back is sore. My wrists are sore. My hand is sore. And when he was putting me in the back of the truck, he at one point he was, I don't know, he was messing with the buckle or something like that, and he basically takes my beard and he just tugs down on it. And I wasn't very happy about that either, so I let him know, "Hey man, you just basically attacked me while being in handcuffs in the back of your truck." And so he takes me to the jail. It's about a 20-minute drive. I'm definitely talking the whole way there to him, letting him know he's not in the right in this, because if you look at the Utah statute, Utah code for interference, filming cops cannot be deemed interference. Just, they don't understand the laws here, man. They don't care. They don't like transparency. They don't like anything. So I end up going to the jail, and they shove me in this little cell for a little while I'm in booking. And the arresting sergeant came over, Sergeant C. Olson, and Olson is spelled with an E-N, of the Cache County Sheriffs. And he tells me he's filling out a warrant for my phone, and that they're going to keep my phone. And I was like, "Dude, when can I get it back?" He's like, "Well, you can probably get it back later today, maybe tomorrow," something like that. So I was like, "All right, whatever, no big deal. Like, I'll just get my damn phone back." And I even told him, like, "Dude, if you want the video, I'll send you the video. It's not a big deal to me. It's like a 45-second video." I was literally on scene for 45 seconds.
Can I let you know right there? I just did a video on somebody who did almost this exact same thing in Del Rio, Texas. They stopped him from recording in a public place, took his phone so that they could get a warrant to get into it. Never got the warrant to get into it, and there is now a lawsuit which has been filed by Grable Grimshaw in Texas. So, I mean, this case is played out again and again and again and again, all over the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, these interference charges on First Amendment activists, anybody who goes and records police, seems to be the way to go now. That's exactly what they're basically attacking us with, harassing us with, is interference charges anytime and anywhere they can. It's
and
the
it
most
almost
bogus
seems as
card
if
you can ever come up with.
it almost seems as if they've conspired nationwide, because if you, like me and Josh, keep an eye on stuff that's going on all over the place, it's no coincidence that nobody was using these charges, and then all of a sudden multiple different departments all over the country, same exact day, start doing the same things.
Well, you got Cash
no
Valley. Well, Cash is the latest, but you have Dragonet Transparency, a 65-year-old grandmother with no arrest record that was dragged out of her home in a nightgown, barefoot, and strip searched in front of male cops. She was charged with aggravated stalking and menacing. Then you have Great Lakes Transparency, charged with aggravated stalking and menacing and disorderly conduct. I mean, and they went like full tilt on this one. They pursued charges against him for aggravated stalking and menacing. They got a warrant, and once they got the warrant in the computer, then they arrested him for other charges, so that way they could bypass his right to bail because the warrant held them. These cops do kind of what we do on the opposite spectrum. We watch to see what activists are doing in other states. The cops are seeing the same thing. So when they see one cop from another state arrest someone and charge them with some bullshit charge like stalking or menacing, they do the same thing. And in this case, it's very clear it's retaliation. And if you guys haven't seen the video, go to James' channel, and I suggest if you have a YouTube channel, whether you have 1 subscriber or 1 million, mirror this video, because, and this is just so everyone knows, they're on screen right now, Cache County Sheriff's Office. And folks at home, just so you know, it is your right to redress your grievances. That's your right as an American citizen. They have a 3.4 rating right now on their Google review page. I just left them a rating. You guys can too. I wrote, cops shouldn't kidnap citizens for filming. Not cool, guys. Not cool. If you go there, and here's the thing, like, sheriffs are elected. These people are in elected positions. So when you hit them in the pocket and they know that the people are pissed, this is how you get them. It's Cache County Sheriff's Office in Logan, Utah. The phone number's there if you'd like to call them. That's fine. It's your right to do so. But you can get that 3.4 down to a 2.4. This is retaliation because you have a right to film a police officer within their public capacity, and the Constitution can never be converted into a crime, and it's a right can't be converted into a privilege. But what do? They gave you privacy strikes on your videos for filming them at their job.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, so some of the videos are literally in City Hall or in the police station,
and so. It's clear that at this point, there's an axe to grind. Every single time they see you, there's some sort of issue. And you see that happening with activists. I know it's happened to James. It's happened to me. When you start making a difference and you start showing people that these guys are absolutely up to no good, this is the stuff they try and do to keep you off the street so you can't expose them anymore. But what they're never going to understand is they're just too stupid. They're simple-minded clowns in costumes from an idiot consortium. So they think we arrest this guy, we steal his property, we throw him in a dungeon. That's going to be the end of this guy. But then you have people like James Free Range Slave Man, who really could give 2 fucks left, 0 fucks given about the government. And he's going to use every power at his capacity, every subscriber on his channel to make sure that they rue the day. So all they're doing is they're perpetuating their own fucking problems. James, have you called these guys yet to ask about this?
Cache, the county or the police department?
Either one.
I've been on the phone with the police department every single day for the last 3 days, and I have roughly 2 hours total, probably, of conversations with different individuals at the police department. I made one quick half-assed attempt at contacting the sheriff earlier today. It was pretty half-assed. I got this automated system that said, if you know the extension you want to reach, then press it. And I gave up at that point. I've got a lot to work on here, obviously. So I figured I'd move forward with that in the future. But we're also on Friday. And so just so you know, I'm not going to be doing videos on this on Saturday or Sunday because they're not open to listen to people redress grievances on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm going to take a break from it while they're gone, and we'll come back to it on Monday. So I've got a video that I'm going to release today, and then we'll continue with it on Monday, by the way.
No, and James, you never ever that I've seen have ever done fundraising for people. It's never been a thing that I've
done it one time. I did it one time, and it was for Clash with Bow when he was arrested in Florida. I was willing to put up his entire bond that day of $1,500, but I know that there are a lot of people out there who genuinely want to help and feel as if they're getting kind of screwed out of something when they're not even allowed the opportunity to. And so someone told me, hey, you know what? Some people want to help with this stuff. Go live and ask them to help. So I've done it one time, and that was for Clash with Bow. And just so everyone knows too, what ended up happening with that is he was released on his own recognizance, and I actually refunded every single penny that was sent to me on that particular fundraiser. But yeah, I called you, Josh, and I called Cache Valley, and I said, you know what, man, I want to help mitigate some of this guy's expenses. I see so many. I think, Josh, you know why I don't like doing fundraisers. There's a lot of people who are just dishonest. We'll leave it at that, I guess, right?
Yep.
But I would like for anyone that is watching and sees what's going on that feels that they would like to help Cache Valley mitigate some of the expenses. I think that would be awesome to be able to help him out. He posted, how much was the bond? Over $700 plus a phone that was stolen?
Yeah, $714 plus, because I was 20 miles away from where my car was. I had no cell phone to call anybody that I actually knew. I don't know any phone numbers. So I ended up in the jail looking through a phone book, if you can imagine looking through a phone book in 2022, and looking through a phone book for a taxi service to drive me to my car. And I think the taxi to go the 20 miles ended up being another like $56 plus, I got about 3 hours of sleep once I finally did get home last night, and then I had to go buy a new phone today, just to be able to have a working phone. Like, that was the only phone I have that has all of my information on it, that has literally all my phone numbers, everything that I use for YouTube, everything that I use to go to work every day. So I mean, they literally just stole my entire existence. Plus, $714 to get out of jail might not seem like a lot of money to some people, but $714 is a lot of money to me right now. And plus, stealing my phone is a bunch of bullshit.
Everyone, just so you know, real quick, because I see people asking in the chat, if you look at the top of the chat, there's a comment pinned by Judd that has the link, so you don't have to type it in, you don't have to go search anywhere. You can click on the link pinned to the top of the chat, and that can bring you to either Venmo, it can bring you to Cash App, and like, it's tough asking people for money in situations like this. And there are people out there that are entirely provocative and push the lines. I'm one of those assholes, and I love it. But there's some people out there that simply observe rights. And from the videos that I've seen with Cash, like, you really can't find someone that's better at trying to educate simply through their rights alone. He's not out there, beating people up and getting in these guys' faces and filming people's homes or churches. So when we find issues like this, we need to band together as a community. Like that's what this is, like it or not. It's a community. So if you guys even want a dollar, anything helps. I mean, paying a $750 bail, being naked without his phone, this is a huge issue. It's big enough for James to drop what he's doing and to call me and say, hey, listen, can you do a live? This is what's happened. And we can all do our part. So if anyone could, and they would, please donate to his Cash App or his Venmo. Anything helps. So that way we can get him a new camera. We can get him, reparated for some of his bail. This is a situation that we can stop, and we need to prove to them that we are better than them. So every time they arrest Cache Valley Transparency or James Freeman or AFA because they think that's going to stop the problem, we need to be able to donate to Cache Valley so he's back out there with a phone and they say, holy shit, now he's got a better phone and he's not in debt over bail. What the hell did we just do? Officer safety, that's what they should fear for, right? I mean, I was looking into it. Last year, 1,055 people were killed by police. Last year, 666 cops died in the line of duty. Keep in mind, most of them were heart attacks and pandemic related. 44 cops last year were actually killed from a suspect. Look at those staggering odds. That's why they're concerned about officer safety, because karma is a bitch, because they're out there doing what they did to people like Cache Valley Transparency. And we need to show that, we are deeper than the Blue Line gang community. I mean, enough is enough. So if you guys could help out, I would appreciate it. And also go to the page. I mean, you can literally go over there. Let me see if it's been updated, if there's any new reviews, see if you guys have, they have. They've dropped down 0.4. They went from 3.5 to, let's look at the new ones. G Punk has given a 1 star. The sheriff and the men under him are all corrupt and they hate any kind of transparency. All of us here in America have a right to do our public employees and the police as they do their jobs. We also have the right to hold them accountable when they don't. But the local government and sheriffs in this place will do whatever it takes to hide their corruption, to include violating your rights and stealing your property. Liz gives a 1 star. She's not happy. And she says, you are a disgrace to the community. Kidnapping an individual legally documenting a police encounter is a blatant civil rights violation. We will be watching and listening to how you handle this going forward. Will the town pay for your illegal activity? Spoiler alert, I believe they will. Melissa says, thank you for not upholding our constitutional rights. Thanks for kidnapping a man and putting him in jail for exercising his First Amendment rights. Thanks for committing prior restraints violations by complaining about a man posting the news in his town. Thanks so much for not understanding the Constitution of the United States of America that you swore an oath to. Thanks so much for being the best tyrants ever. Thanks so much for not de-escalating. But most of all, thanks so much, heroes, for all of your violations to we the people. Here's the deal. We don't stop. Joel Lander, I call him Intern Joel over at AFA. He's a local Google guide. So this is big news. Abuse is wrong. Authorities are cowards and cowards to not stop abuse done by fellow officers. Cowards have been looked at as the lowest and most serious offenders in all of history of the USA. Stop in the name of the law. Michael says, wow, not cool arresting a citizen for a constitutionally protected activity. Jasmine, the specific group of police officers do not know or support the law. My ex-husband was kidnapped, my youngest child, yet again. Even after I sent them a divorce decree, there's some personal information. I'm going to skip over that one. Frenchie says, my daughter is in an abusive relationship. The police were well, you know what? That helps because those weren't there before, and those were just done in the past couple hours. So, yeah, guys, 35 Google reviews, 3.0. This is the Cache County Sheriff's Office. Let me refresh and see if there's any new ones. Yep, there's another 2. Let's see if they're down to 2.9. This is how the people redress their grievances.
2.8.
2.8 now. Biggest
As
gang
you
in the
clicked
country.
it went down.
Going against the Constitution, trash, scary department. Watch out for these tyrant sheriffs. I'm not going to be able to keep up with all this, but we will keep a ticker tape in the bottom of the screen for all you freedom lovers at home.
And also, there's a couple things I want people to also understand is when I go out and record, I understand Cats versus US says that I can record anybody in public, right? But if you listen and look at my videos, I do my best possible. I do the best possibility to keep normal everyday citizens out of my videos. They don't need to be in the videos. Can they be? Sure, why not? But I don't really feel like they need to be in the videos. I'm not there for them. I'm there for the public servants. I'm there to videotape what they're doing, how they're interacting with people. And also because I read every single comment on my YouTube videos. I go through my YouTube videos all the time. I read all the comments, so I see what everybody's saying. And, some people, are going to say whatever. Some people are just going to be trolls. But I'm going out and looking for lawyers on a daily basis. So if people don't think that I'm taking this seriously, looking for lawyers, wanting to file civil rights lawsuits against these guys, trust me, I am going out looking for lawyers. I talked to a local lawyer yesterday and also this morning, and they're not able to take the case because of conflict of interest. The local DA used to be a lawyer at that law firm. So
of course he did.
They're not taking that case, dude.
So the DA used to be a defense attorney. I mean, like, people just let that sink in for a minute. You do not have to be a rocket scientist. The DA that prosecutes you was like, look at that. Look how that works. Like, when you go hire a defense attorney, you should expect that there's no real correlation to the opposing side. It's pretty much akin to being a quarterback and then calling the linebacker from the other team over and being like, hey, before the snap, just so you know, I'm throwing a deep flag. Get that son of a bitch. It makes no sense. You never share with the opposing team unless it's law enforcement. Then it's okay.
So basically what I was told by the people that I've talking to in this area is I'm not going to be able to find a lawyer in the local valley because everybody up here, it's maybe the valley's Cache County, Cache Valley's maybe 200,000 people. And everybody knows everybody up here. Everybody goes to the same Sunday services together. Everybody goes out and drinks coffee, goes to the same restaurants. Everybody knows each other. They're all kids, are in school together. So I was basically told, you're not going to find a lawyer in this area. You're going to have to go down and look in Salt Lake or somewhere south in lower Utah. And, I've been making phone calls. I've been doing everything I can to find a lawyer to take this case to, defend me in court against these bogus charges they have on me. And also go forward after that with, civil rights lawsuits or anything else I can do to make them understand that they're not allowed to do this to the public. That's freedom of the press is what it is. And if you don't understand what freedom of press is, man, I'm sorry that your educational institution growing up didn't teach you anything. But the information is available on the internet at any time for you to read and understand. And there's plenty of literature out there on it. So,
and just so everyone knows, the cops, here's the one thing that they're smart at. They don't mind violating your rights where there is qualified immunity, because for every idiot that's in America that's like, yay, let's pay taxes. Like your pay. So what the cops are basically saying is, I'm going to beat this person senseless. I'm not going to get punished. And when he does get reparations, it's going to be from the tax money that we stole from you.
Yeah.
I mean, just create a pool right now. Why don't we do it on our own?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bunch of baloney that's the way it's gonna probably end up working out. I mean, but hopefully,
fair, you think you have a right to record in public. You think you have these things, right? Because you read the legislation. We even know that what you were doing does not constitute stalking, but they're going to criminally charge you for something that you are supposed to have a right to do. But the truth is that you don't. Never mind. I should be careful what I say. We're live here. Let me try and rephrase the thought.
Say what you want. There's just some keywords that we used in the last live that we're not going to use in this one, James.
Right. There's some trigger words. I need to rethink that thought and put it into different words. Obviously we don't have that right. I'll just say that, right? That's what I've been trying to show and expose. And that's why I've jumped on this case so hard. Is because it's not about what the law says. It's not about what the legislation says or the Constitution says. It truly is the guy with the biggest stick and the most willingness to use violence wins, right? Because we all know, we can see through the legislation that Cache Valley is right and these guys were wrong. But these guys were willing to use violence against Cache Valley, and he wasn't willing to return the violence. I just want people to actually see the system that you truly live in. It is chaos. Mm-hmm. There is no consistency. There's rules for you and not for them.
Yeah, and that's why James had said something the other day, and I don't think people just read it the right way or really paid attention. He said that, he's not an activist. He's here to document the downfall of society. And you kind of have to understand where we're going in this community to understand that. And I told him the other day that he's a destruction activist. What he's doing is he's documenting the downfall because we think that there's something that we can do about this. It's already been done. Right now, We're just minimizing collateral damage. So instead of this huge monumented fight where we're going to save the Constitution, it's been dead since 1777. We just need to make sure that we're minimizing the collateral damage to those people in our community while they're out there fighting this. What he's doing every time he pulls out his camera is he's documenting our downfall. This is not an audit. This is not a cop watch. He's literally showing a cop on video. Imagine what he would do off video when on video he's violating your First Amendment right, the building block of the Constitution. to film in a public place. Like when you're talking about stalking, first you have to build harassment. So you don't get to stalking until you first breach harassment. And filming someone within the public capacity of their duty is not harassment, but look at his case and how it built up. First, they started with the guideline strikes and the privacy strikes. So they could say that he was harassing them.
False.
And now they
Let
did
me
these
clarify.
guideline strikes.
Let me clarify false guideline strikes, because I talked about this with the lieutenant earlier. If they were making legitimate strikes, I wouldn't be complaining. And by the way, a legitimate strike means that Cache Valley would have been posting social security numbers, bank account numbers. There's a reason that this is put in place for you to be able to have private information taken down, because it shouldn't be out there. You know, these cops' home addresses, social security numbers, and bank account numbers should not be out there. That's why it's in place. But that is not what Cache Valley is doing. And by them making the claim, they're claiming that he's doing that when he is not. So false privacy claims. Let's just make sure we clarify that.
And also James shared this with me the other day. If you look at the complaint process you have to go through to file a complaint on someone's video, it says in there that you're supposed to contact the creator and ask them to take down the video before you finish the complaint process. And I save every email that comes to my YouTube channel email that's on there, and I have received no emails from a single human being asking me to take down a video because they were in it. Not once.
And not only that, but you've seen them in person since those videos were published, and they didn't ask you in person either. They did come in person and give you a summons for false charges, but and the whole point is that they're trying to say, oh, well, we're using YouTube standards. Well, first off, no, you're lying. You're not using YouTube standards. You're essentially defrauding the system. And again, I did go in and I told Lieutenant Randall also that I went in and I made a privacy complaint on one of my own videos from one of my smaller channels. And in there, you are promising that you're telling the truth here. You multiple times, they basically are, YouTube is covering themselves in saying you are taking legal responsibility if you are lying about this claim. They also say that if you're lying about it, then you're going to get your account terminated. But besides that, you know, they're told that their complaint is going to be anonymous. When it turns out that you made a false complaint and later you get sued, these records are going to get subpoenaed from Google. That's what's going to happen. They're not going to be able to be private. Their personal information that they put in there and their sworn lies are going to be made public. So, and it was very, very clear to me while going through this process. I was asked 6 different times to clarify, you know what you're doing and you promise that this is happening.
It actually brings you, I think, it's definitely 2. It might be 3 different screens. So when you do the privacy complaint, it sends you to another separate screen. And then you literally have to follow the link from that screen to go to another one. It's not like, you know, when you can argue with your parents, I accidentally bought that porn. I clicked the button once and I got it. Like they're actively filing these privacy strikes. But I mean, and
YouTube does a great job too. It's actually 6 screens that you go through. And in all of them, it says you agree that you have read and comprehend exactly what you're saying, that this person did this, this, and that. And so you have to lie basically 6 times and put a digital signature in there, lying 6 times.
Well, that's why they succeeded, James. Cops are excellent at lying. It's one of their foremost fortes. So they're probably able to speed through that process faster than most of us. Hey everyone, I keep checking and they've gone down again. Some of the reviews I can't read. We went down a full point. Some of these reviews I can't. Let's just put it this way. People have said some crazy stuff on my channel and there's just some stuff I can't read, but going through the people have spoken, the people are speaking, Nightcrawler, a lot of people are in there, but they've gone down a whole point, and that's how you hit them, people. I mean, we shared this 15 minutes ago, and they're already down to a 2.3. Next time I check out, they'll be down even more. And you know, like that's how we speak to these people. I mean, it's one thing if a cop isn't educated. Well, it's not even another thing. You can't explain away ignorance of the law is never an excuse. But it's one thing if he's like, "Oh, I thought I had expectation of privacy." That's his best, his best defense here. I thought that I had privacy. Like, there's nothing that explains what this cop did. But we went from prior restraint to physical violence in a matter of days. And most of this happens after James shares his video. So what these cops are saying is, we targeted you, retaliated against you, and did a privacy complaint. And now you shared the video again, so now we're going to throw you in jail. What happens the next time he goes out? They're going to use a gun on him?
And to be fair here, the videos that I previously made were about Logan City Police. And the people who arrested him last night were Cache Valley Sheriff's deputies. Now, of course, cops are cops. And it's a different chapter of the same gang. But I am hoping, after some conversations that I had today, that the Logan City Police Department, at least, is going to cease and desist. Not just the police department, but it hasn't just been them. It's also been city employees who don't work for the department. And I'm hoping that it is true, after a conversation that I had today, that they are done, that they're going to stop this. And so I guess the attention needs to be shifted to the county and say, look, all of you need to stop it. He wanted to make it clear that it's a little bit unfair to group everybody in together, but I mean, they are an organization.
They don't mind being lumped in together when they get their Fraternal Order of Police donations. Right. I mean, like, I don't understand why these scumbags think that they can cherry pick the Constitution and the time restraints and when the Constitution applies. But that's how this shit works. When they want the money, they're all lumped in together. Overwatch, thank you. I'm going to send that $20 over to Cache Valley Transparency. Everyone just tuning in, please refrain from super chatting. If there is anything you would like to send, at the top of the chat, there's Cache Valley Transparency's Cash App and Venmo. I'll send this $20 over, but Overwatch says the privacy complaint is ridiculous. James said he has a copy and paste response if we mirror the video and get it stricken for false privacy complaints. James, can you tell us where we can get a good response to false privacy?
I would prefer that you email me. And the reason is, when you email me, I'm going to ask where you posted the video. I don't want to give them the response. The response is going to go to YouTube. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I only want to give the response. I don't want to arm the enemy. Does that make sense? I don't want to show them cards, because I've sent it to Cache Valley. I've also modified some things to even make it specific for this situation, because there is a broad one and there's also a more specified one for this situation. Email me at realjamesfreeman@gmail.com. If you want that response, email me with a link to your channel where you've posted the video. I will say this, I've posted multiple videos and they have not, knock on wood, they haven't given me any strikes on these particular videos yet. So far, they're only doing it to Cache Valley. And I do believe that it has stopped. Cache Valley, since he had his phone stolen, I've been in touch with him every single day for the last 3 days too. And he's told me every single time he gets one, it gets forwarded to me. So I don't know if you've gotten any today, Cache Valley, but.
I haven't really looked. I've been so busy all day long just trying to get a new phone set up and everything. And like I said, I went and talked to the lawyer again this morning and all that stuff, but I haven't received any. The video that you posted yesterday, that video is actually taken down off my channel yesterday. So the fact that you put it basically right back up means that, sharing these videos out is extremely important. Like I said, they've been saved in different places. So the videos will be back available to me at some point, once kind of things calm down a little bit. But I mean, and you said earlier that you can't really group all of these departments together. And I somewhat agree with that.
They don't.
I somewhat agree with that, and I somewhat don't agree with that, because the one thing you may not know about this area, they all use the same dispatchers. All of the police departments in this entire valley use the same dispatchers for every call. Now, if something happens in a town 10 miles south of Logan, and it's Cache County sheriffs that go out there, and they don't have enough people to cover the call, they will send Logan police out there. They will send other police departments out there to cover calls. So they all work together. They all talk to each other. They all go to the same calls together. So grouping them together doesn't seem like the most disrespectful thing you can honestly do with this area.
And I'll say this also. I said this even to one of the women that answers the phone at Logan Police Department that is not a police officer. And she kept telling me, I wanted to talk to her personally. I asked her, have you filed a false privacy complaint? And she kept telling me, well, if you want to talk to an officer, I can forward you to Lieutenant Randall. And I kept saying, no, I'm not asking to talk to them. I'm wondering what you personally, as a human being, have or have not done. Have you done this? And she said, no. And then I said, well, what are you doing? And she said, well, I don't have any say in what does or doesn't happen with the police department. All I can do is answer the phone. And I said, that's fair enough. Are you standing with us to speak out against what these bad officers are doing? And I think that applies to all the officers to me. Okay, you're not one of the bad ones. So what, are you one of the good ones who's just watching the bad ones and not doing anything about it and not speaking out about it? So sure, I'll say it's fair enough to not lump you all in together when the good ones go ahead and stand up and say, no, I will not stand with this behavior. I am against it, and outwardly say it, and go and talk in person to their colleague and say, hey, we're fed up with what you're doing. You're putting a bad name on our department. You're making me look bad too. And I wish you'd shut the hell up and stop doing it.
Yeah. It's interesting that these cops want to lump us all in together. I had my girlfriend, she's not even an activist. She just saw this gnarly car crash, or the car went into the water. So she just started filming it. And the cop was like answering her questions, saying the car was stolen. She's like, all right, thank you very much. Can I have your name, please? And he goes, no, I can't give you that. You'll get in trouble. You're one of those auditors, aren't you? Like the cops can't have their cake and eat it too. When one cop does something good, they want to be lumped together in the same pig pie.
Right.
But when
Right.
when one does something bad, it's, oh, we're not, that's not all of us. And New York Tyrant Hunter says, and I don't even want to go look, he says, OMFG, you can add a video to your review of Cache County Sheriff's Office. I don't know if I even want to go see what that is, but apparently they're down to, they started at what, 3.5? They're down to 2.1 now. I don't even know if I want to go see. There is a video up there. Let me see. I don't even want to take the chance of opening this one live. I'll look at it later. So everyone, if you'd like to, like I said before, go ahead at the top of the chat, and you can either go through Venmo or Cash App. Anything that you can spare is great. And it's not just to help Cache Valley get his phone situation taken care of or be reimbursed. He had to pay for his own kidnapping. Like when you see the movie Taken, like they don't pay for their own kidnapping. I mean, unless like you have an annoying wife, maybe then you pay for your own kidnapping. But he was forced to pay $750 for his own kidnapping. It's not just helpful to him to reimburse and recompense his financial loss, but it sends them a very blatant message. The same as you guys are over on the Facebook page and you dropped it down over a full point in less than 20 minutes, that's hitting their elected officials. You guys are sending them a clear-cut message where we'll go one step further than calling the police department, making complaints. We'll go one step further than going to the website and leaving a bad review. We'll pay to get them out of jail. So you want to keep doing this, we'll keep doing it too. So anything that you can do helps, and really appreciate it. And this is the type of stuff you need to do. We would be nothing without you guys. I mean, whenever I speak to James, it's usually sarcastic, useless nonsense that's jibber jabbered away. But, he does this now for a real reason, is the same reason that he did it before. That's why when most people say, all the big activist, auditor, whatever you want to say, when you think of those names, they all say, oh, I started watching Freeman, I started watching David, or whoever they say, because auditors have a high turnover rate, or activists, or whatever you want to call it, very high turnover rate. And I always say I was here before them and I'll be here after them. It's people like Freeman that were here before them, like people like Eric Brandt that will be here after. And for them people like that to get bent out of shape and start making phone calls, they don't have to do that. They have big channels. They can sit back and relax. But this is egregious enough that James and other people are fed up. So you need to be at home knowing that this could happen to your kid, your brother, your sister. The one thing I can say about police is they're not racist when it comes to arresting. They will take you regardless.
Yeah. And I want to say one more thing too, that when I was talking to Lieutenant earlier, you know, there are people, whether you like or dislike what Cache Valley does not negate the fact that he has a right to do it. If you don't like it, go ahead and speak out against it. If you don't like what I do, speak out against it. If you don't like what any of us do, speak out against it. But you don't get to use the violence of the state to stop people from doing it. The violence of the state or your own personal violence. You don't, that's not okay. That's when you've crossed the line for me. If you were to sit here and shit talk AFA, myself, and Cache Valley, that's great. But when you start slapping handcuffs on people and throwing them in cages, that's you've gone too far for me. That's too far.
So I'm going to show his channel. If you guys haven't, I suggest you guys all subscribe. I'd like everyone here too. I mean, there's 500 people. So I want everyone to go over. Let me show you what his channel looks like. As you can see, my bell notification's already set. I'm subscribed. Make sure that you go start binge watching some of the videos, start leaving comments. And you can always take links from his videos and leave them in your reviews of the sheriff's department or wherever that you're leaving a review for, because there's some of those bootlickers, we can't sway them all, but one is enough. You know, maybe they watch this video and say, all right, well, this is how, you know, when I go to their Facebook page, they'll show me how they're petting puppies and saving kittens and donating to charity. But on the page they don't think we'll go to, this is how they're acting. So go to Cache Valley Transparency, drop them a sub, set the notification bell to always, comment on the videos. And besides your wallets, guys, and more powerful than your wallets, the best way to defeat these thugs is by sharing these videos and getting us in the algorithm. If YouTube didn't make money off this type of stuff, they wouldn't post it, but they do. So we can utilize their efforts by making sure we get people like Cache Valley into the algorithm.
Let me also point out, have you set all these to Creative Commons yet, Cache Valley? Did you get a chance?
I've set a bunch of them to Creative Commons. I haven't gone through and set all of them to it yet. Any of the ones that do have privacy strikes on them, I have set them to Creative Commons. So all those are able to share. I'm not gonna go find your page. I'm not gonna copy strike your video. I've actually been going to a lot of people's pages and commenting on their videos that they have shared of your videos that you've asked them to mirror, and I've left a comment saying thank you and I appreciate you sharing this, basically. So I'm not going to go copyright anybody's videos. You can share any video of mine that you want to, and I could care less.
And I've done the same thing with these videos specifically, because this came up when I did the first one and I was asking people to mirror it, and people have gotten these copyright strikes from other people for helping them out and sharing their videos. And this piece of shit in the chat was saying something about it. You guys might have heard of him. So I just wanted to address it. And so just to put an extra layer of protection and make sure that you know that neither myself or Cache Valley is going to do that to you, that you can take both my coverage, completely copy it and paste it and re-upload it, or you can take it directly from Cache Valley's. And because it's set as Creative Commons license, it means that we don't even have a right to copyright strike you. We have set it to where we don't own the rights to be able to copyright strike you on it. And it is just to give an extra layer of comfort for those who have seen retaliatory things done in the past by some shitty people like No Justice, that's not what we're doing here. Yeah,
I mean, like, that's why I'm very clear during the chat. Don't send super chat, stuff like that. It's way beyond that. You know, I make my money doing what I do. This is something where, like, personal opinions really need to be set aside, because there's people that I absolutely detest that I wouldn't mind if a bus hit them. But if a cop was driving the bus, I would mind. You know what I mean? Like, I would go bail them out if they got arrested. We have to show that we're better than these cops. And when shit like this happens, we need to be better than them. I think that we already are better than them, and we need to start letting them know that we're not going to stand for it. So there you have it. And you can also, if you're super, super afraid of it, you can timestamp this video. You can screen record it, as both content creators have just said that they claim no exclusive rights. And under the Fair Use Act, you can regurgitate, disseminate this video or their videos or all videos any way you see fit.
Yeah, and for those who know how this stuff actually works, you can use it under fair use anyways. And for those who already have channels and already do this stuff, you probably understand that stuff anyways. And
so I just want to basically say I appreciate anybody's and everybody's help. Anybody who is going to watch my videos, anybody who is sending me money. If you go watch any of my videos, I never beg for money. I never ask anybody to donate. My Cash App and my Venmo are in my description of my channels. I never mention it. I never say anything about it. But I appreciate everybody's help with this. Being arrested last night and having to pay all this money just to kind of get my life back in order is kind of really put a dent in the bank account at the moment. And I may not be able to go out and make videos for the next week or so, just because I'll have to be going out and working that much harder just to kind of get my life back in order for a minute. But I promise I'll keep uploading videos, and I'll do everything I can to hold all of these people accountable. And I'll be making sure to let everybody know anything and any updates that I get on any of this stuff, any of the cases, anything. All of that stuff will be updated. I post a lot of stuff on my community page, so please go check that out as well.
How about this too, guys? If you don't like these cops, look at what he just said. He said, because I've had to put out this money, I won't be able to be out there recording public officials and creating transparency for these oath-breaking, clown-wearing costume consortionists. So I'm going to have to go to work. You want to like defeat the government? Yes. If you can send him enough money to reimburse him for what he's lost, he's not taking that time off. You literally can decide whether they win or they lose.
Yes.
That's simple.
And let me also say, let's continue to publish these stories. I believe I'll be covering this one on Monday, but if he's not able to be out there, let's at least post and repost these so that they don't get a break in people getting to see what they're doing just because they stopped him for a couple of days or a week or whatever it is. That they get more attention because of it, not less.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I appreciate, James, you reaching out to me and bringing me up to speed and allowing me to be a part of this. Anything that I can do, I'll mirror videos, of course, and I ask my subscribers to do the same thing. I'll use my backup channel to do it, just so this type. And you never know, like, I have a backup channel. It's only got 1,200 subscribers, but one of those videos go viral. Like, I had a channel with no subscribers. You never know where it's going to go viral, where the algorithm's going to pick it up. There's no rhyme, reason, or explanation to it. Yep. So repost it everywhere, put cool titles, make sure you put this, the cop's face on the front of it. And somewhere, if it goes more viral than where we're putting it, great. The point is, collectively, we make this cop's face go famous. And before we close, I really wanted to thank James Freeman and his friends. It was very, very kind of them to do what they did. So this educational video is brought to you from James Freeman. It's a commercial, so please enjoy. It's only a minute, and then we'll close out. So here you go, guys.
Hello, this is a public service announcement brought to you by the People's Republic of North Korea. My name is Kim Jong-un. We are here today to support the James Freeman. Is this all right? James Freeman on the YouTubes. This message for you, for freedom, for today, James Freeman. God bless communism.
Hey, everybody. It's James Freeman. That's right, James Freeman. And I just want to let everyone out there know that if you're an auditor, you're a commie. But that's fine. Kim Jong-un's my buddy. And as you know, he loves communism. So we just rented a Peter Pan bus for all the auditors to go to North Korea with the other commies. By the way, God bless me and I'm an American hero. You peasants bow before me. My long, red, luscious beard is conditioned every day with Dr. Pepper cream soda for James Freeman. And I just want you auditards out there to know that there should be no order in civil society. By the way, AFA, Accountability for All, is a god. Peasants kneel before me, but mostly before him, and mostly you're welcome. God bless North Korea.
So there's that. We thank you, James, and the People's Republic of NK.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Kim Jong-un.
He was very animated. He was like, he's doing the Gundam. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, great leader. Thank you.
It's funny. He just did a video about 2 weeks ago recognizing the first case of the Kung Flu over there in North Korea. The first case has just only one. It's just
Only
touched
one.
out 3 years later. Cash Valley, anything you want to close out with?
No, man, just like I said, I appreciate everybody's support on this. James has been really tremendous in the last week. Me and him have been contacting each other all the time. I've been sending him screenshots of everything that I get, all the stuff that's been going on. And AFA, thanks for hosting this. I really appreciate you guys. Anybody that donates, I promise you that all that money is going to be put to good use towards lawyer fees, towards getting me a nice new setup and everything. And I will be out recording police. I will be out continuing to do this. They're not going to hold me down. They're not going to stop me. I even told the officer as he brought me to the jail last night, you think arresting me tonight is going to stop me from recording you? You have no clue what you're talking about. I'm going to be out twice as much. I'm going to be out more often. And this isn't the last that you have seen of me. I will be out recording you as much as I possibly can.
What about you, James? Anything to close out, bro?
Everybody, don't forget to donate for strippers and cocaine. I mean,
James, we discussed this. When we're on the air, we say it's for a good cause. When we're off the air, we get cleaning utensils for the glitter removal.
Right. I meant transparency and my freedom. But in all seriousness, though, guys, I've never asked for money for myself, and I'm still not going to ask for money for him. But I will say this: I do love very, very much when government tries to crush people, and one of the best ways to do it is financially, and everybody steps up. And I would love to see him end up in a better spot than he was before they screwed with him, because I'm just kind of vindictive like that. And I would like to see him financially better off than before they screwed with him. And I would like them to see that. That's where the real glory would come from, is from them getting to see him be better off by them putting hands on him than if they had left him alone.
Oh, they're already down to 1.8, James. 1.8 now.
I want to see him get to over 10,000 subscribers before the end of this month. I want to see more people regularly watching his videos. I want to see people donate financially to get him a better phone to record with than he even had before when they stole it from him. I mean, I want to see every single thing that they do to him help him, and essentially through the community, through all of us helping. Creating their own monster. Yes. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're creating their own monster. So then here's how this works too. Like, and you'll see this in some cases. Mostly it's behind the scenes, but sometimes we'll catch it when this becomes bigger than it already is. The other he's going to be back out there. He's going to have a better phone. Now, other activists where he's normally kind of doing his own thing. Now, other big activists, they're going to go out there, and instead of just him kind of peppering them intermittently, this place is going to get flooded. And when he goes back into the locker room, the other cops are going to be like, really, dude? Like, it wasn't hard enough? Like, to be a fly on the wall for that conversation, but it happens. You're driving a wedge between them. Hey, also, I wanted to say, Cash Valley, thank you very much for what you're doing. I talked to him yesterday or a couple days ago, and I said, a lot of people are mad that I don't go out quite as much as I used to. I do still go out. It's on a smaller channel. and I screw with government, you know, on a regular basis. But I am so glad to be able to use this platform. I've seen time and time again over the last few months since I started sharing other people's videos, how government likes to screw with the smaller channels. And they think that they can shut you down and shut you up. And it feels so good to take what I have, what has been built here, not really what I have even. It's you guys. It's the people who are watching me who are really stepping up. I'm only one person. But to be able to take it and show that many people and have that many people get in on this, you know, they thought they were just screwing with Cache Valley with 2 or 3 or 4,000 subscribers. Now they're screwing with all of us and all of you that are watching. They stepped in it big, and gosh, it feels so good to be able to use that to help the guys that they thought they were going to be able to crush, and nothing would ever be done or said about it.
And they guys, get it together. I'm going to give like one free tip out there to the dirty clown wife beaters. You know, we all know each other. And we all, if we don't connect to each other directly, we know how to connect with each other. So when the next time you want to like mess with someone because you think that he has a low subscriber base, well, that 4,000 that he had before James started sharing the video is now a 500,000 subscriber base by the 3 of us up here. And then, you know, who knows, maybe myself and 2 other big channels show up. Like, our numbers multiply a lot quicker than yours do. So the easiest way is to just leave us alone. Don't bug us. And just walk away, because you just made Cache Valley Transparency famous. You did it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, vicariously through the dick of James Freeman. And sign up for the AFA daily messages. They're inspirationals. They're very inspirational as well. So you can sign up for those AFA daily inspirational messages. James, have you signed up?
No, you said I get them for free as a communist.
Yes, well, you do. You get the communist discount. Have you got your first message yet?
I did get my first message. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, I mean, you can if you like.
Or
sign up, guys.
You sent me an audio version, didn't you?
There's an audio version, and there's a written version and a spoken word.
Do I need to play it back?
You can just read it if you want.
I don't know how to read. If I knew how to read, do you think I'd be fucking with police on the internet?
Absolutely. I know how to read.
All right, guys, I got to go. I got to get ready to take my son camping.
All right. Have a good one,
awesome,
James.
man.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Cache Valley Transparency. Thanks, brother. Be safe out there. You have my number. We'll keep in touch. So with any updates, let James know. Let me know. We'll make sure we put it out there.
For sure, guys. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Later, y'all. Everyone in chat, thanks for coming by. Make sure, again, you go check out James Freeman and Cache Valley Transparency. We really appreciate it. Trevor said, I missed one. I wasn't looking at the screen, so I apologize. Trevor says, thank you, James and Josh. Please help Boise, Idaho PD rid its garden of cop rot. 777. You know, we continuously as a community need to work hard, but, you know, like, I can't do it alone, and that's why this is perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I've never filmed with James Freeman, but this platform is available. All we have to do is connect with each other and make sure we let these cops know that we mean business. I am going to share the screen with some of the newest comments before we close out here today. By the way, if everyone could go to my backup channel, it's called The AFA Crew. If moderators could put it in chat, that'd be great. It's The AFA Crew. Kind of do some drama, some funny stuff. That James Freeman video that you just seen with Kim Jong-un, that's on that channel. And I also post other stuff as well. But let's check out some of these latest reviews from these guys. 75. Wow, they went from 3.5 to 1.9. 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. Hoosier News Now, 1 star. Tie this, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. What have I witnessed with the security guard power hungry thugs? This is all the credit your securitards deserve. You all did a great job, heroes. Secret agent, man. D. Johns, 1 star. White boy, they don't honor their oath to the Constitution like other departments do. Don't like transparency. Simply a disgrace. These chicharrones need to be held accountable. Hope I did that right. Ego is a terrible thing for an officer to carry. Not understanding their oath to the Constitution, filing illegitimate claims to YouTube is despicable. Public photography is not a crime. Learn it, live it. Very backwards, and there is no expectation of privacy in public. Officer safety is above public safety and against the Constitution. Pignorance at its finest. New York Tyrant Hunter looks like he put in a video. Okay, so he put up what I do. He put in a video of a siren, so that's great. Thank you, New York Tyrant Hunter, for doing that. Let's continue to go down. Did I go too far? I don't want to miss any because a lot of these are wonderful. Here we go. New York Tyrant Hunter. What did he also say? Let's go down a little bit. The Secret Agent Man. We got him. Blah, 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 blah. New York Tyrant Hunter. Cache County Sheriff's Office, you make me sick. Stop harassing people, filming in public. Maybe it's time for some retraining in the Constitution for this thin blue line group. 1 star. 1 star again. Please stick to the law. Photography is not a crime. Terrible cops making up lies to arrest a citizen, filming in public. Horrible violations of their oath, ? Where is the transparency? You need to obey law. Complete disgrace. Arresting citizens for exercising their First Amendment rights is ridiculous. This is exactly why qualified immunity needs to end everywhere, because as long as taxpayers have to keep paying for what cops do, they will never care about citizens' rights and do whatever they want. Holy smokes. That sums it all up in a nutshell. What an excellent comment by Ziggy. Let me close on that. I'm going to read it one more time. Complete disgrace. Arresting citizens for exercising their First Amendment rights is ridiculous. This is exactly why qualified immunity needs to end everywhere, because as long as taxpayers have to keep paying for what cops do, they will never care about the citizens' rights and do whatever they want. Back the blue until it happens to you. And that's absolutely wonderfully said, because they're right. I mean, with qualified immunity, they're given a fake law. I mean, literally any law that abridges the Constitution of the United States of America is unlawful, and under the Constitution and articles of said Constitution can be disobeyed, and you should disobey them. So if any law that's against the Constitution should be ignored, and then qualified immunity gives a police officer the right to suspend or terminate your civil rights, it seems it just makes no sense. But here's what happens. If they do something to you, they get a paid vacation. So right now they're getting paid and they have to go out and work. When they do something wrong, they get paid and they don't have to work. So it's basically a paid day off, and then you, the people at home, foot the bill. That's why qualified immunity needs to go, because they have to have personal oversight for their interactions. They need to know when they go hands-on, it's not going to be the collective tax bracket that foots the bill. They need to know when they go hands-on that it's going to be their house they're losing. It's going to be their kids' college education. It's going to be their right to the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. These are the laws of our lands. Smash that like button. Just so you know, if you want to make a last-minute donation, pinned to the top of the chat is Cache Valley Transparency's Cash App and his Venmo. Feel free to head on over there, drop him whatever you want. Like he said, he's got to stop. Right now, he put out his kidnapping bail money, and he has no phone. So now he can't be out there keeping these guys transparent. Well, let's make sure he can. Go ahead and send a couple bucks. Appreciate you guys. Subscribe to James Freeman if you haven't. I'm sure you have. Subscribe to Cache Valley Transparency. Make sure you catch the latest updates. Feel free to mirror any of the videos. Smash the like button to this channel on the way out. Appreciate the mods doing a great job, and members. I appreciate all of you. Nightcrawler, Sexday Perez. Some of the other channels that I really, Innocent Auditor, that I don't normally have interactions with, or I haven't been on their channel, they haven't been on mine. This kind of just shows how the community comes together when people dog on one of our own. Flex Your Freedoms, James Freeman, Judd, all the mods. Happy birthday to Batman. We appreciate you guys, and remember,